What it do, y'all? You know what it is. Your boy, I'm back. It's the voice of the culture. It's the Roundtable Podcast, man. And we live on this beautiful Sunday morning in Harlem. And I'm blessed to be sitting next to my guy next to me, man. Black-owned business. We just gonna jump right into it, man. I'm definitely got to give you your flowers.
Thank you.
I'm live at Bake Cravings in Harlem with the CEO and the owner, Craig. Yo, man. Thank you, first and foremost, for allowing me to even come in your location and set up and kick it with you, man. I gotta say one thing before I even start, man. Congratulations on what you're doing, your success, your drive, man, in the community, man. Your location is beautiful, man. The food, everything in here is fresh, and you know what it gives it? It's a sense of an essence that's a blessing in here. And I felt that yesterday when I walked in here. I felt it. It was like, yo, this is what we need. This is what we doing.
Yeah.
And I salute you, man.
Appreciate it.
You've been doing your thing for a while, man. I want to jump right into it, and I want to ask you, what made you get into the baking game?
Oh, man, I had to overcome a situation that I went through.
Okay.
And I touched down, and had to get back to work. And I got lucky enough to actually get a job at a bakery. So I always had a degree in finance, so I was able to get into the accounting department. And I ran that department for about 4 years, kind of learned the business. And in the course of that, the actual owner of that company decided to downsize.
Okay.
So knowing that there'll be a void in the city of nut-free, peanut-free cake goods, I basically opened up Bake Cravings. So we do a lot of catering, kids with nut allergies, peanut allergies, a lot of stuff with the schools, so of that nature. So it was a void in the city because essentially we're the only bakery that does that. That's completely 100% nut-free.
Wow.
So just seeing the numbers from the financial standpoint, it just, everything
it
just made sense, everything started clicking.
So let me ask you this. In that strive of doing that, what's the difference though for our listeners that may not really understand it? Because some people don't understand. I don't know.
Yeah, well, when we was kids, we went to school, peanut butter and all that. Now, the nut allergy is so prevalent.
Right.
That just some kids being around it, smelling it, can wind up in the hospital.
Right, because I have a son that has that problem.
Very severe, it can go from anywhere from a hospital visit all the way, to God forbid, the checkout.
Right.
So it's real prevalent, so you can't even take that in schools anymore.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah, and it's increased so much over the years. And I think it came from, I'm not a professional at it, but it may have came from we stopped giving it to babies when they were born. So that allergy just kept maturing and maturing. Yeah. So most of the kids these days, they have it.
But it's crazy because you did your homework on it.
Yeah.
A lot of people wouldn't have had even looked that far into it and just would have tried to go another route.
Yeah.
But for you to stay focused and stay driven and say, this is the route we're going to go and be successful in it, that's a blessing within itself, man. Let the people know how long you've been in business, man.
We've been open since 2017.
Okay. Yeah. God is good.
5 years, yeah.
Now I'm gonna ask you this, man. How was it during the COVID, man?
COVID, we actually got busier, actually. Because we was allowed to be open.
You just couldn't have the people coming in.
You couldn't. Well, people could come in one at a time. They had to wear a mask. In New York City, they had to wear a mask. But more or less, your Grubhub, your Uber Eats, your DoorDash, everybody trapped in the house, whether
everybody wanted
happy to be in the house or depressed to be in the house, they wanted a cupcake.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. So you definitely, it was running a lot more with the outside flowing because we was on lockdown. That was
we was
crazy.
on lockdown. Yeah. So everybody needed some pick me up at that point.
Exactly. That's what's up. We got the customers coming in early. See what I'm saying? That's what it do, man. The little young guys is coming in. Yo, but on the real, man, what I noticed is that it's not too many of us in different environments. And when I say different environments, I mean business. We always kind of cater to the car wash, the barbershop, a quick clothing line.
Yeah.
For you to get involved in this, I feel like it's passing on generational wisdom and knowledge with other black entrepreneurs. Like, yo, we don't just have to do the normal barbershop cut hair. Let's dive into these other avenues and let's accelerate ourselves in it. And a lot of brothers, we don't see that. We don't see brothers baking. We just see the mom and pops dinners and cooking, which that comes and goes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But with this, it's longevity because you're dealing with a mass variety of different individuals.
Yeah. It's definitely a wider scope of people you're dealing with. You get to interact with the corporations, scheme, different teams. We do stuff with the Yankees, we do stuff with the Nets. corporations. We do a lot of stuff with the stores downtown, Saks, Gucci, and then the private schools in New York is so prevalent, you know.
Right.
So a lot of those orders come through. You know, and then we do stuff, like I said, AT&T. So
right,
yeah, you get to
you touching the masses.
You get to expand out.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
A lot of us don't understand that. We just want to stay okay. We're gonna just cut hair, or we're gonna have the crew in the barbershop. We're gonna have Sister Sarah cutting. But this is no ceiling to this.
No. Actually, we're gonna in July we're gonna start the process to start franchising. So hopefully by February or March we'll be able to sell franchises. So the goal is to expand it and make it a more national brand. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any other locations out of New York?
No, this is just the one location.
Okay.
We had one in the East Village, but COVID played an effect on that.
Right.
So we did take a hit there. But we just opened that store, didn't have the longevity of the legs.
Right.
And then, you know, we were in the East Village, and a lot of the kids there was in, you know, college down there in that area. So
right.
a lot of them just went home. So that affected that store. So we have this one location. Yeah.
Right. So I believe, because I saw the East Village, and I was like, that's dope, because I know that area down there is definitely the zone for this.
Yeah.
It's heavy down there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And in due time, I'm quite sure you'll redo something down there, because that's definitely the market down there.
Yeah.
The tourists and all that, you know what I'm saying? And you never thought about Jersey?
You know, when we first opened, we did something in Garden State Plaza. We had a little kiosk, so we was just getting brand awareness out there. So we did that. Actually, next week, I got something going to a school in Inglewood Cliffs, the Morrow School. I think it's a little kids school.
Right.
Yeah, in the hills. So we doing that. So we do stuff in Jersey as well, but it's like special order.
Right.
Yeah.
You never
eventually
thought about doing a store out there?
Well, that's what we're franchising.
Okay.
Yeah, so we franchise. We're going to do it within 90-mile radius. So that's Connecticut, you know, Jersey, other parts of the city. So we're looking to build that branch out so we can expand more to Bay Cravings, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I feel like with this brand, it can go anywhere.
Yeah.
It can be. To me, like these locations, you don't need these type of businesses. You don't need it. Well, maybe you do. Maybe I could be wrong. You may need a certain location, but I feel like I know women. Us kids, my kid, they're gonna go find their snacks. We're gonna go find our goodies.
Yeah.
So it's just really just getting the right people on the team in that location to push that location.
Yeah, that's more or less what it is. That's why I want to franchise, you know, so I don't have to deal, you know, a lot with finding employees, keeping on top of employees,
trying to be 10
call-ins,
different places,
call-outs, you know, dealing with that. So it's hard, you know, when you're trying to build the small brand to national, because now you start getting into, you know, things like this. You're doing more press, you're doing more media. Well, we just did the Wendy Williams show. So you're doing different things. So you find yourself actually outside of the location. You like me and you, we try to plan this for almost 3 weeks.
Right.
So I'm always moving around. So, you know, the next 2 days I'll be in Massachusetts at our plant. We'll be making over 30,000 cookie bags. So it's hard to do another location because I'm always moving around.
Right.
Until I get the personnel that, you know, someone who can sit there and be the manager and oversee it. Until then, franchising is probably the way for me to go, because it gets more stores out there without me having to deal with it.
Right. Plus it makes sense though. You know what I mean? It definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you this: as a business owner, how important is branding and marketing?
Branding is very important. That's what's going to separate you from everyone else, and also make you recognizable. So me, what I try to do is I like to get some nice, vibrant colors that everyone likes. I like orange, I like white, I like blue. Nothing to do with the Knicks. Those are just colors I just like. You know?
I mean, we're in New York. I mean, New York definitely gonna take it.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you know, that's what I like. And then the brand awareness, you got to have it. You know. Definitely want to be recognized,
I believe a lot of us don't understand the importance of branding.
No, it's something you'll be able to separate yourself from the pack, so you definitely want to have that.
Right, because I had to learn that starting this, actually, you know what I mean? It was certain things, like, well, but then my man was just like, yo, you got to. And the more and more I meet entrepreneurs such as yourself, I'm learning from you guys too, the importance of branding and marketing. Because I had someone tell me the other day, something really stupid, oh, you don't really have to focus so much on that. You need to just focus on getting the people. And I'm saying, well, how am I going to get the people if I'm not out here branding and I'm putting nothing out here? No one knows nothing.
Yeah, because whether you know it, people look for that. So when they're looking for it and you don't have it, that consistency, that flow, knowing what they're going to constantly get from you, knowing your color. So people look for that, and then if you don't have it, it's kind of hard. They won't basically recommend you to another. So the branding is really important. That's, that's the first step. Yeah.
Now, with the social media market now, do you think that's also a good boost in the business area?
Something you definitely have to do. Just, it's part of the game. So right now, you can't say you want to ignore it. That's for sure.
Because I know before, but we didn't have social media.
You didn't have it, yeah.
So what would have been the, how would we have? You just kind of get a street team, beat the streets, maybe
word of mouth.
Right, word of mouth. Send it out to this person, that person. But you know what? The beautiful thing is we as black men are out here striving to be great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I see the greatness in the location. Like what you're doing, the consistency, the workflow, the people you've done work with. Mm-hmm. Honestly, your resume speaks for itself. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Has it ever been a moment, because I always ask each and every individual this, when you just say, you know what, man, I don't want to do this?
We did a deal with Amazon last year. They spent a couple $100,000 with us. And honestly, I started getting into the trucking business. So I purchased the trailer and the truck, just diversifying. I do real estate. I do a couple other things too.
Okay.
So I was actually down in North Carolina, and I was like, all right, man, I think I'm kind of done with Bay Cravings. It can run by itself. I can keep this one store, keep it going, keep everybody employed, ride it out, and just let it do what it do.
Right.
And it was so weird. I literally wired the money for the trailer, and then Amazon called me. He's like, listen, we want to do a deal again. I'm like, damn, you should have told me before I just wired $30,000 to somebody. The truck cost 60. I'm like, I just capped off 100, this 1 week, 100,000, like that. And they hit me up. So, we started talking, and, on the phones, the lady's like, yeah, this year's deal could be, in the millions. And I'm like, all right. So that kind of pulled me back in, because I'm just like, we gotta keep growing. Because I just fell back. I was just like, I'm getting tired. Let me just chill out. Because my daughter works here with me. Okay. So I can let her run it. Let her do it.
Right. Everything's in-house.
Yeah. I had my real estate going on. I had the truck thing I was about to pop off. So I was like, all right, let me focus on that. So my man takes care of the trucking for me. So I'm back here, and we doing what we got to do.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Man.
And since I think since I did that, I think Barbara Cochran stopped by. We did some stuff with Snoop Dogg. Like I said, we just did the Wendy. We got the plant in Massachusetts where we're gonna do the 30,000 bags. So we back in motion.
Right. Yeah. Every time someone told me, when you get to that point and you're ready to fall out, your blessings is about ready to fall in.
Yeah.
That's what the old man told me. When you're ready to fall out, the blessings ready to fall in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you said you wear many hats.
Yeah, man. Website, marketing, POS, store setup, inventory, grabbing inventory, restaurant depot,
and everything you hands on.
I'm hands on. Yeah, I don't do much baking. I got a head baker, but I get what I really love doing is getting involved in the R&D, making new flavors. That's the type of stuff I like. Okay. And then I just, pass it off to them, and they do the mass production of it. So, like the cookies we got coming. So I R&D that. So we got our new cookies coming, and you'll see that stuff flow out. Yeah.
I feel like you got a passion for this as well, though. It's not just a hustle or a job. I feel like it's a passion that you kind of gradually came into, or not.
I like making things. That's, honestly, me, I like to win.
So if it's a challenge,
I like the challenge, yeah.
Exactly.
I'm probably more of an adrenaline freak than anything.
I'm with that too.
I like to start from where you think I can't do it and do it.
And go even further.
A good example, my man bought the truck, called me, he had people down there in North Carolina, they said, yo, y'all New York dudes, Jersey dudes, y'all coming down here trying to get into this trucking thing. Y'all ain't gonna be able to do it. My man told me that. I said, yo, let's go buy a truck. Who they talking to? Shot down there, got the truck, we rolling. So I just like to turn 0 to something,
Right, yeah, I'm saying that. Yeah. I mean, people get, go crazy over that. Me, yeah. I love what you can't tell me I can't do. Yeah. I'm going to do, and I'm going to go beyond that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, whatever obstacles that's ahead of me, I'm going to deal with that. It's the game.
That's part of it.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Now, I asked you that to say this, man. I know it's been ups and downs. It's been highs and lows. It's been obstacles. Mm-hmm. It's been moments. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But with you having multiple different things going on at one time, how do you stay level mentally and insane? Because you got this, you got that. You wearing multiple hats, Playboy. And you're not employing a bunch of people that's just doing everything for you. You're moving and grooving.
What I tell most people, OK Google's my best friend. She just said it. She already woke up.
You know what I'm saying?
That's my personal assistant.
But first you'll have to unlock your device.
There you go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, technology. If you can use technology to your advantage, you can cut a lot of that down. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it makes sense in this era because that's all we live in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
not to cut you off, but a good example would be,
please,
like you go on our website, and if you look at our website compared to other bakeries or most bakeries, you can't order on their website. It's just for you to view. You're looking at cakes, you're looking at cupcakes. Ours, you can order online, you can design a cake, you can schedule it for next year if you want, pickup, delivery, shipping. So I try to use the technology that's available to take it to a whole nother level where it's just less, so we don't have to deal with the phones ringing. People want us to take orders.
All
Stuff
day.
of that nature. It's like, we get them because some people are just not technical savvy, and we get that. But for the most part, people can come in. It's like, listen, you need a custom cake. You go on our website. We got a custom cake request form. Fill it out. Production gonna get right back to you. 24 hours. It just speeds up the whole process because now we can ask you the questions without feeling like we just constantly repeating ourselves over and over again.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
So you did your homework on that because at the end of the day, you said you can't really order online. They just give you the visual of what you can get.
So when I started the company, just knowing what I wanted to do, I wanted to make it so we can ship nationally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I was building it out for products that we can basically ship.
Okay.
Yeah. So anything, we do our regular cupcakes that we deliver to the school, but most of the things we do, cake in a cup, the cookies, we ship them. We ship a lot of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I see you doing not just baking, also you got the drinks, you got the slushies.
Oh yeah, we got the slushies, we got the wine.
Yesterday,
yeah.
you got the
we got the chicken bowls. Yeah.
The chicken bowls.
That's something that came out of COVID. That's something I had to adapt because of COVID.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's good actually because it's good for the community. So in East Harlem, you got a lot of people. You got high diabetes and all of that.
High blood pressure.
So and then with COVID, it was kind of like, all right, so what can we do different? And I was like, maybe we need some more food.
Okay.
And then I started adding food onto the menu. So now we do bagels in the morning, bagels, eggs. We got chicken bowls. We got steak sandwiches. So things like that, just for the community.
Right.
Yeah, because we got a lot of schools around us too.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're also catering to the community.
Yeah.
And in the community that you're in, I believe is giving them a little bit more healthy, and it also gives them an opportunity to come in here and see a black-owned business than the normal, usual black-owned business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're diving in multiple different things. You got the bowls, you got the food. What's the proper word to say? Maintain the level of, okay, we baking, but we might not be selling as many. You know what I mean? How does it level out? You know what I mean? How do you know that, okay, because for those that maybe, that's going to be watching this, they may be ready to start something.
Yeah.
And they may not want to jump into the multiple things because I'm quite sure, like in the beginning, you didn't have all this.
No, we didn't have all that. In the beginning,
You know what I mean? It took time.
Yeah, purely in the beginning. So purely in the beginning, just cupcakes. That's it. Nothing. We weren't even doing cookies.
What about the popcorn?
Wasn't even doing that to maybe like a year and a half ago. It's just gradually things started flowing little by little, and as we started growing, I'm looking at, okay, we doing this with Amazon. We got 600 square feet. They talking $1 million. We're not gonna be able to do this out of here. So it's kind of like, I got to make sure that this store, look at it as a unit, is able to take care of itself, because at some point, I'm going to have a production facility where all this mass production is going on. So what else can this store do to keep itself paying its own bills? So that's where, the food, the other different items come in.
Right.
Because at some point, like I said, a lot of it's going to get ripped out of here and moved to a bigger facility.
Okay.
Yeah. So right now, we do it in here as much as we can, but then we're gonna have to move it somewhere else. Yeah.
Well, this is always gonna be home base.
Oh yeah. This is the story right here. This is the branding.
This is the legacy. This is the home base.
In the corner, this East Harlem. This is the story.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And you got multiple people coming through here.
Yeah.
We saw the traffic. Me and my guy came here yesterday, Rob, and we saw the traffic. You know what I mean? We saw different ethnic groups.
Yeah.
Coming through here. You know what I mean? And I think that's also dope too. You know what I'm saying? We're not just stuck with us. We also letting the other people come to us, see what we doing, and like you said, word of mouth means everything right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I think that's unique about the whole situation, and the way it's set up. It's like cozy. I mean, it's very comfortable.
Yeah.
It's not too much. It's not too little. It's You know what I mean? It gives the people that feel. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's dope. Now, we got a few people that's, like I said, that may be watching us up and coming.
Okay.
Ready to open something up. Got a couple of dollars. Ready to go full. You know, we get this. Yo, let's go. What would you tell them before we get into this great marathon? What do they need to prepare themselves for? First and foremost, because a lot of people think it's just, yo, we just gonna put this, put that.
No, you know, you gotta have a plan. You know, but don't plan too much. I tell people as well, because whatever you plan, by the time you get to it, it's gonna change. So I'm a firm believer, and some people differ. Nothing has to be perfect for me.
I believe that too.
We're gonna get to perfect as we working it out. So similar, like I said, when we opened the store in 2017, all we had was cupcakes. That's it. Took time. It just happened. You know, it's a natural inertia. You just let it happen. It's gonna come. That's
right.
I tell people all the time. So you don't want to overplan, because everybody's like, oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna open that. I look, people come in all the time. They telling me all this stuff, and I'm just like, all right, when you gonna do it? Well, I'm still trying to plan. And I'm like, well, you're gonna be planning for a long time, because things change, problems happen, pandemics happen, things happen.
Right.
You just gotta hit the road and keep going, man. You know, my number one word is sell. If you can make a sell, sell.
Sell.
Sell. Sell. Sell. Sell.
Sell. I mean, that's basically what it's about. But you know, a lot of people think people want the overnight success. Let's just keep it real.
It'll never be that way.
We live in a time where instant gratification is needed.
Yeah.
And I say this all the time. I don't believe that. If it takes me 10 years and I did it correctly, I'd rather take the 10 than take the 5 years and did it on some backdoor bullshit.
Yeah.
That's just me personally.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, this is your brand.
Yeah.
And no one's gonna take the hit more than you are, because you're the one that gotta go home and deal with the ins and the outs. You may have a few employees, a couple people running with you, but this is your baby. This is your legacy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of us get that whole mind state that it just can happen overnight. And a lot of people not ready to take that marathon run. They ready to just take the sprint, man.
Nah, it's definitely, you gotta put the time in. You know, what you put in is what you're gonna get out. That's it.
In the day, how many hours you think you got in the day for yourself?
Oh, for myself, it's 24 in a day. I sleep. That's myself. So maybe, I don't know, 10 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you learn not to let it oversaturate you.
You know, in the beginning, I spent so much. Literally, in the beginning,
That's what
I spent so much time talking open, close, 6 days a week. Actually, we was open 7 days a week. So I was here probably 6 days a week. So now I'm kind of like on that, I don't say relax. I'm not here as much as I used to be, but I'm still doing stuff. I'm still,
right. You always moving.
I'm out taking. It's just grown to a point now. I'm out taking meetings. I'm on, I'm email. I'm on now everything's Zoom. So I'm Zoom meeting, and I really can't do it here because people see me and then they want to talk all day. So I try to stay into the office where I can basically just get more things done. So it's just that natural growth.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But in the beginning, you're gonna have to put the time in. There's no way around it. You have to.
Well, a lot of people don't want to put the time in, and I think that's where we fall short at. I think people feel like, yo, let's just open up and we'll wing it.
Nah.
You know what I mean? I mean, that's a lot of us think like that. I've been around brothers. I've heard conversations that great ideas.
Opening it up and winging it is not the bad idea because you're gonna figure it out.
Yeah, but when they say winging it, it's like winging it with no plan. Let's just open it, and when we get in there.
Oh, now well, you start somewhere and then you figure it out from there. If it's not working for you, the best thing you can do is pivot. Pivot as much as you can.
But see, a lot of people can't pivot.
Now, you got to be able to pivot. You got to be able to think outside the box.
That's true, but a lot of us are stuck.
You got to find people who can help you do it.
That was I'm glad you said that, because you deal with different people all the time, and a lot of people want to just tell you anything.
Yeah.
Sell you anything, push anything on you. Oh, we can put that in the store. That'll be, in your gut. Nah, we ain't going that route. We cool.
Yeah.
Now, on that side, how many times have you said nah and it might have been the right? Because, sometimes we do make bad decisions.
You're going to make bad decisions, All you need is, I used to say the person who fails the most wins. Person who fails the most is going to win. That means you tried different things. I know a lot of people, they just only want to try what they know is going to work.
That means go to the bread and butter.
That means they probably shoot the ball 2 times in their life because they need to make sure that ball going to go in.
Right.
Sell, sell, sell. I'm gonna keep shooting. I don't care how many times I miss.
But a lot of people scared to fail in front of people. You know what I mean? And me and my partner talk about that all the time. Like, people be so quick to say, let's do, all right, I'm gonna do this. All right, you did it, but you're not pushing it, you're not branding it, you're not believing in it.
Yeah.
And then you sitting there saying, well, you know, no, I don't know. Yeah. Because if I start something, I gotta run the race.
Yeah.
I might get tired, I might need some water, but I gotta keep running. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I feel like, you know, a lot of us, and I'm gonna say black community, we give up too fast when certain things are not going the way we want them to go. Like you said, you only going for what you know instead of going for outside the box, and we don't want to listen.
Well, that's the, you know, the biggest thing. We gotta be able to take information from other sources and apply it. You know, I think we always talk about, oh, what was done to us, but at this point, it's kind of we do it to ourselves. You know, so
all the time,
because we don't allow ourselves to go to that next level because we don't think it's possible. But you don't know it's not possible because you ain't tried it.
Right.
You're just going off what somebody else told you, and then they going off of their experience. But it's not your experience.
Exactly. And that's real, because a lot of people try to downplay what you're doing because they failed at it.
Oh yeah.
How many times they told you?
Or they don't give us loans, or they don't do. All right, if you know all that, you can still make a plan to win. If you know all this already, then what's stopping you? Because you already know it.
That's a fact, but like I said, yo,
you know. So a good example, a lot of people say, yo, you should have put seating. I like, we don't have seating here. We put a little table outside when it's warm so people can sit outside. We don't have seating. A lot of people say, you know, you should have put seating. I'm just like, well, you know, I already know what could happen. So I'm trying to keep my expenses as low as possible. Because I know ain't no bank gonna come in and give me $1 million, $2 million. They not.
Right.
You know? I ain't say they're not, but odds are they won't, so I'm not dependent on them.
Right.
So I'm gonna make it so it can be self-reliant for me. And then go from there. So that's what I mean. So if you got that mindset that, oh, they're not going to give me this, I'm not going to get that, they're not going to help me with this,
pivot.
Then you just pivot and you make a plan that works for you. Start where you are.
And that's where the great minds come in at, because everybody feel like, yo, if I can't pivot, then they stall.
Yeah.
And they get stuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they don't want to be an all-around great player.
Yeah, you got to figure, you got to figure it out. And also you got to have faith. That's, the biggest thing. You got to have faith.
It's right here. Yeah, it's faith over fear.
That was my daughter's name, Faith.
You know what I'm saying? Faith over fear. And it's crazy because I wore this today, you know what I mean? And we just talking about it. You know what I mean? But it's real because we don't, I bump into so many, and I talk to so many people since I started doing this podcast that's doing different things. And I'm always listening. Like, I want to listen because I don't know everything and I'm not diving in everything. And I hear the biggest thing is, well, I don't know. And then I start to sit back and I start to see people like they start something, but as soon as they get that little bit of turbulence, it's like, nah, you know, I bumped into that road. I'm like, but you just got to the starting block.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So a gentleman said to me, we were talking about something. I said, yo, why don't you come to the show? You know, yada, yada. And he said to me, well, I don't know if I can talk with you that long. I said, well, you got a brand. You don't know if you can talk about your brand? If somebody give me an opportunity to talk about what I got going on, I'm going to talk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that showed me that maybe some of these cats does not really believing in or have faith in themselves.
Yeah.
First and foremost, to go out here and start something. We can all sit in a room and talk shit.
Yeah.
But when you walk out that room, what are we producing? You know what I'm saying? And to see you with so many different things going on, it makes me happy and it motivates me to keep going.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you know what you wanted to do.
Well, I look at other people too, and they motivate me.
So a lot of us don't want to say that though.
Oh nah.
Cats don't want to be like, nah. They don't want to give the next dude like, yo, he inspired me.
Oh nah. When I look at someone doing great, I'm like, yeah, it can be done. That's that's how I look at it. All the time.
Man. It's so much going on out here in the community, man. And we in Harlem. Harlem, you know, had its ups and downs.
Yes, sir.
Trials and tribulations. You know what I'm saying? Y'all been giving so much to the community, man. What is a few more things you would like to do for the Harlem community that you haven't done? That you got an idea that you would like to do?
I was thinking yesterday driving in, I want to do Maybe we do it this year in September. Give all the school kids free cupcakes, maybe for September when the new season starts.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see y'all the school is important. I notice you talk about the school a lot. That's very important.
Yeah, well, you know, in this community, they got a lot of public schools. So a lot of our business is really with the private schools. Because, you know, we you know, and here we're selling, you know, $3, $4 cupcakes.
Right.
So from that aspect, a lot of kids here, they walking around, you know, with the lunch cards, you know. So it's a reach for them sometimes.
Right.
So they come in, you know, I give it to them for like $1, $2, you know, 'cause they're in the community.
Right.
And I know that our business with this business reaches outside of the community a lot, and that's how we bring the money in. So, you know,
it makes sense.
And then I try to give it back to the kids here.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It definitely makes sense, man.
Yeah.
I want to ask you something. You never thought about doing like a baking tutorial for some of the, you know, for some of the schools?
Actually, I'm talking to a school in about 3 weeks for career day. But I bake, but I'm not a professional baker, so I don't really like to give tutorials.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So essentially, when we started this business, I had 2 partners. One was the head of baking at the other company. We all worked at the same company.
Okay.
Head of baking, and we had another guy who was the head of sales. Basically, we put, so this is let's walk down this lane for a little bit. So me and the gentleman that had of sales, we put in the money to start this place.
Okay.
50-50. We gave the head of production, who didn't have any funds, sweat equity in the company. During the course of building it and getting it going, we got it open, but my business partner who helped put the money in 50-50, he was going through a divorce. So he couldn't put any more money in.
Right.
So he fell back. I said, all right, well, you know, I keep the company. So I basically took the company over. So now it's me and then the other gentleman. And he never really understood the concept of sweat equity. He never understood the concept of sweat equity, so we had a fallout there. So you know, everyone's coming.
Time out. Explain that to the viewers that may not understand what that is, so they can get some knowledge and some wisdom on that as well.
Yeah, with sweat equity is when you are basically using your labor instead of money.
Okay.
Yeah. So the point where we started the company, you know, you're not making any money. Right now, we're just spending money.
Exactly.
And so he needed to make money because there's a family, we get it. So we paid him weekly. So when that situation happened, he was still getting paid, and I would explain to him, like, listen, you're getting paid when you really just was putting in sweat equity.
Right.
Now, you know, I'm different from everybody. I don't expect everybody to think like me, but if I had the opportunity to invest in a company's sweat equity, I'm gonna put my sweat equity in, and I'm gonna go make some money somewhere else. But that's just me.
Learning how to pivot.
He didn't get that concept. So me and him started bumping heads. So at some point, I basically fired him because, you know, I own the majority of the company. So. And he was like, well, who's gonna make the cakes? And his friends is like, oh, the place is gonna fall off. Since then, we don't won awards for the best bakery in Manhattan. I basically, looked at YouTube for 2 days straight. I figured how to bake.
Wow. You pivot.
I pivot. I mean, I watched them. I was watching them from afar. And then when it came to a head, I was like, all right, partner, here's your walking papers. And I figured it out. And I'm talking, it took me 2-3 batches, throw them in the garbage.
Of course.
Each one got better. That's my point. When I say I just start.
Right.
I just start. I'll figure it out later.
Right.
Ain't nothing that hard.
But you went in.
I went in.
And you put in that work.
I'm talking 3-4 in the morning here, figuring it out.
Losing. But really winning in the long term.
Oh yeah, because less headache. We would have never grown to this stature because me and him were just butting heads so much. So
it wasn't even worth the headache.
It wasn't worth the headache. I wanted to grow. He was cool here, and I'm like, you cool here because you're getting paid and they put no money in. I'm not cool here. I put money in. I need to see it grow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So which makes sense.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you this: you got people what makes when you hire a baker? Mm-hmm. Is there anything special you need this guy to be on? Because you can't just hire a homeboy or homegirl.
No.
You know what I mean?
Definitely. Well, you want to have someone who has interest in it, who really wants to learn it, and if you're going to hire someone, you obviously want someone with experience.
Exactly.
So, but if they don't have experience and they say they have interest, and you can figure that out, from just speaking to them, understanding their demeanor, and their seriousness of it, you can train them.
Okay.
If that's what they really want to do. So you really want to find somebody who wants to do it. I've been blessed. My baker, that's what she wants to do. So
she loves it.
Yeah, she been here for 3 years. So and I guess especially in New York City in job term, that's long.
Yeah, that's definitely long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So with that being said, man, you got a good core around you.
Yeah.
In the building, you got your daughter. Mm-hmm. You got the young lady working in the back. You know what I mean? You kind of seems like got rid of all the weeds, and the grass is growing.
You have to.
You know what I mean? Of course, you might have had to cut some down a little bit more than you had to cut another side, but it'll grow back once you plant and fertilize anything you do in life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hit you with a curveball. Mm-hmm. 5 years from now, where you see Baked Cravings.
Well, I see 5 years from now, I see multiple locations of Baked Cravings. I see a different iteration of Baked Cravings as we expand out. And also see a CPG line on some store shelves. So consumer packaged goods, meaning the cookies we're working on in the next couple of days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazon.
Yeah, the deal with Amazon is they purchase directly from us, and so that's they own Whole Foods, and whatever outlets they other have. So they got Amazon Fresh, Amazon Go. Amazon has their own supermarkets in some parts of the country. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So let me ask you that, was that word of mouth with the Amazon thing, or was it just hard work and grinding and one situation led to another situation?
You know what? A lot of people ask me how I get these opportunities. I honestly don't know. I just
you just do what you do. Stay
grinding. We've done a Shopify commercial. We've done stuff with American Express, Yahoo, Verizon. Just get out there.
Just get out there. Just working.
Definitely, and that's where the branding come in. The branding comes in because people see it and they see. And another thing too is they don't expect it from us. So So that they don't expect it from you. So it's just like it's real easy to cross the line because they don't expect it.
They don't think that.
They don't think. Sad to say, they don't think we can do it.
That's what I was getting at. You know what I mean?
They don't think we can do it. So like I had a gentleman here. I was talking about. I just had to let him go. Young man, I give him a little leniency because I've been there. You're 20, you figure it out, you run around, you got the girl. I did it.
Been there, done that.
So I give him a little leniency more than I should, and I tried to let him go because I'm like, listen, what I'm doing for you is not actually helping you. You literally need to be on your ass to figure it out, because you telling me you need to work, you need the hours, you need money. I'm putting you on there, but you calling out. So it only works for when you want it to work.
Right, exactly.
But I would tell him, I'm like, listen, man, for some reason, for the last month, he just to get a haircut. I'm seeing all this. I'm like, oh, man. So I'm like, dude, you got to get a haircut.
Presentation is
everything. Like, you know what they expect from us as black males. You already know it. So if you know it, and it's a low bar, actually, you should be able to jump over that motherfucker three times, you know what I mean? Because you already know what they expect.
They want us looking crazy. They want us looking half-assed. Yeah. That's the image we're giving them, exactly the picture that they're painting of us.
Yeah, and it's so easy to surpass it.
You know that, but a lot of that's the.
I explained to I was doing the face, and I just listen. Text me every week. I'm like, bro, you got to figure it out. And I've been where you've been. I got fired from jobs before.
Right.
That helped me actually. Sometimes getting fired is probably the best thing for you. Because that lets you know what you're not meant to do.
Yo, it's funny you said that because I just went through a phase of that on some real, and it is honestly, that was the realest shit you could tell me today because I was confused, and then I realized all of this started coming together.
Yeah.
And I think about
it. Put you on the path to where you should be.
Right, and we don't understand that at the time, you know what I mean? And I just learned to walk by faith, you know what I'm saying, and not by sight.
Yeah.
And not get caught up in what I'm looking at, but I'm getting caught up in where I know I need to go and what I can do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we need more brothers such as yourself to continue to guide the youth, because a lot of our young brothers are just out here trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And don't want to listen until they ass is either behind bars, in the hospital, or out here dead fucked up.
Yeah.
And I've been there. We've all been there. I've been behind the wall.
Yes, sir.
I've been fucked up. I've been broke. You know what I mean? I've been in the hospital.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? So once if we can surpass all these things, this stuff, like you said, is nothing. But a lot of brothers don't understand that because they just, I don't know, man, maybe confused and a lack of leadership on what they seen in our community.
Yeah, well, you know, I always tell them, you know, try to think 5 years ahead, you know. Think 5 years ahead, because what you do today is going to get you there in those 5 years. But if you thinking, I need it now, it ain't going to happen now. So you're going to always be in that cycle of disappointment. But think 5 years ahead. The little steps you do now, school, your little job, you might not be making much, but it's for a purpose. And if you know it's for a purpose, then you just deal with it and do what you got to do.
That's real.
And then, you know, you get there, and you get to that 5 years, and then you'll be like, oh shit, I did it.
Yeah, you're right about that, you know what I'm saying?
Some things ain't gonna happen overnight, it's just not.
And some things are not gonna hit you till 5 years later too, because my father told me those exact things you just said. And at that time, when I was 15, 16, I was like, man, you tripping.
Yeah.
This is what I'm trying to get today. I need these sneakers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he was like, nah, you need to come to work with me so you don't have to be running around here when you're 30 working for somebody else.
Yes, sir.
And me being ignorant, nah, I don't want to work with you because you forcing me to work. And that's the ignorance of the mind that the game plays with us.
Yeah.
And now, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, he was dead right. So it's crazy that you're saying that to another gentleman and telling our folks that too, man. That's amazing because it lets me know that you've been through it. You've seen it. You done walked down the path. You done been in the alleys. You done been in the back door. But for what? I can be right here, Front Street, and doing everything on like, yo, I'm here and I'm blessed.
Yeah.
And what you're doing, man, is an amazing thing because you see the bigger picture.
Yeah, you know, you gotta have that bigger picture. Gentleman once told me, he said something called a library, but even now you can put it to YouTube or wherever the internet, but just keep it to the library theory. For whatever problem you got, someone has wrote a book. So you go into a library, you look around, you see all these books, but to solve your problem, you just need to get those 1 or 2 books.
Wow. And read them. Let's not forget. Let's not just get the books and put them on the, oh, I got a book. Yeah. Did you read the book?
Did you read the book? Yeah. So all you need is the book that's going to help you. So you can go into any library and see 1,000,000 books, but you only need the one that's going to help you. And when you figure that book out, you read it and do what you got to do.
Wow. That's a powerful message right there, brother. I never looked at it like that, man. Craig, we about to close out, man. First and foremost, man, blessings to you again.
Thank you.
I appreciate you, man.
You too.
Them shirts you got is fire. Man, I'm loving them. Yo, I love what you got going on here, man. Anything you want to let the people know before we get out of here, man?
Oh, yeah, man. I appreciate you coming out. Appreciate you speaking to me. You know, I always take that as a blessing. And thank you and the team.
I appreciate that, man. Let them know the location, man. I didn't think I let my fans or the people know the location.
Oh, yeah, we at 1673 Lexington Avenue. We're right in the corner of 105th. Our website is bakecravings.com. Our social is bakecravings.ny. Hit us up, tag us, order online, delivery, shipping. We got you.
Yo, you know what it is, man. It's Sunday morning. You heard it first from the entrepreneur, the CEO, the black dope boy. And I ain't talking about the one from, you know what it is. But, yo, it's the round table. It's your boy, the voice of the culture. I'm out of here. Salute to the team and the cast. Love is love. Stay blessed. We gone. One. King.